Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small fighter. This one is very compact and called the GR-30 fighter, which is this lovely thing sitting right behind me. So it's a hydrogen-powered ship that features 2 autocannons, 2 Gatling guns and 1 singular rocket launcher to blast our enemies with. We also have some unique use of our neon tubes acting as a fake antenna at the front, and our heat vents which are acting as fake ion thrusters. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, the GR-30 is 537 small blocks, using the Warfare 2, Wasteland, Sparks of the Future and Heavy Industry DLC packs. We've got a tiny bit of information about it on the Steam Workshop page, where it states it's very fast, it's got a large hydrogen tank, and is fully armed. So give this thing a thumbs up, move all around towards the very front. My character can now bugger off the screen, there we go. We'll have a quick look around the outside, then we'll fly around for a bit and see what we can do to a nearby pirate base, which is the ore handling facility. So hiding all the signals once again and bring the sun back around because it is a bit dark at the front. There we go, this is what we get. And if you are interested in the skybox I'm currently using, there will be a link to it in the description below. I believe it's called the Hubblegum. Anyway, at the very front, this is what we get. So front and center, what we can see is our wasteland spotlight to light up the darkness, where on our right hand side we've got a neon tube acting as a fake antenna. If we were to move slightly up and towards the fighter cockpit, we've got a camera on our left hand side and we can see our fake ion thrusters made out of our heat vent in the blue colour. We also got a couple of hydrogen thrusters, which is the only form of thrust that appears on this ship, and a lovely pink light at the top of the ship. If I was to drop down and move around onto the side, this is what we get. We can clearly see our Gatling guns, our rocket launcher and autocannon below our cockpit. We've got some more great use of our neon tubes acting as a little foot holder to get into the cockpit. Towards the main body and behind our fighter cockpit we've got some great use of our hazard skin blocks. There's another heat vent with our lovely blue light. And round onto the side, this is what we get. We've got a couple more hydrogen thrusters, some great use of our piston head, another interior light with a lovely pink glow, and some more great use of our neon tubes on the side there. And at the back, we've got ourselves a couple of large hydrogen thrusters. Right in the dead center of all of them, we've got a connector to dock this thing up, as well as an antenna and ore detector, so if you really wanted to, you could take this out and about and scout for ore patches. Moving all the way up and above there, we can just about see our large hydrogen tank below our steel blocks. We see some great block work just covering up all of our important stuff. Then towards the front there, there's our interior light, and there is our fighter cockpit. Just dropping down and coming underneath this thing, there's our lone rocket launcher, 2 Gatling guns, 2 autocannons, and a red blinking light. Got ourselves a lone hydrogen thruster at the front there in front of our hydrogen tank. Then over to this section, we've got ourselves a magnetic plate below it to fold up next to our hydrogen tank when we take off to make sure it doesn't scrape along or damage anything if we're going through a tight area. And just taking a look at the back there, there we go. And that is a very brief look around the outside of the GR-30 fighter. And I think it looks bloody fantastic with how it's been set up. So just grabbing hold of my character, what we can do now is just hop into the cockpit, have a look at the controls, then we'll fly over to the pirates. So we were to start with number 5 and lift this off the ground. Pressing that's going to undo a magnetic plate, and the hinge is going to fold that all the way around and up towards our hydrogen tank. That's now nice and flush with the rest of the vehicle and shouldn't get in the way when flying through some tight areas. Pressing number 1, this is going to be for our 2 autocannons and the front there to shoot them one at a time, so we go left, right, left, right. Number 2 is then for our Gatling guns both together. Number 3 is then for our lone rocket launcher in the middle. Then pressing number 4, that's going to be for all of our hydrogen thrusters around the ship. Number 5 is what we covered with our landing legs. Number 6 is for our camera that sits on the side. And then finally, number 9 is going to be for our connector at the back there to lock and unlock it to dock this thing up. And of course to refuel it. Coming over to tab number 2, 3 and 4, we've got nothing else. So we'll give this thing a little test fly. And we'll sort of head towards the pirates which are in that direction. So moving forwards, this is what we get. As it states on the workshop page, and as you can see here, it's a very fast ship moving forwards. Coming to a stop, we are a bit slow, but luckily we do have the gyroscope controls to do a 180 and boost forwards to stop this a bit quicker. There we go, we just turn around once again and boost forwards. That's a nice fast ship. So just turn around once again, stop this a bit quicker, moving left. That's what we get. We are slower than going forwards and backwards, but it's still pretty respectable at the end of the day. Moving down, that's what we get, and then moving up. Moving up seems like it's the second fastest thing on the ship, and moving down is going to be helped by gravity and a few thrusters on top. Then just wheeling my mouse around as you saw for the 180, we have pretty much no weight whatsoever on this ship. There's a tiny hint of it, so it isn't completely floaty, but still is what you expect from a small fighter at the end of the day. But now what we can do is fly towards this ore handling facility and start shooting it with our autocannons, our gatling guns, our rocket launchers, and see what kind of destruction we can cause. Luckily, this one does have a camera on here, so we can start to aim it, and hopefully we'll deal a nice lot of damage. First of all, we need to find where that pesky rocket launcher is, which is that thing over there, and we need to start blasting into it. It's going to be a bit wobbly, and this is why I like to have a bit of weight on my gyroscopes, because it makes aiming a lot easier. Just keep going forwards like so. Hopefully that'll get rid of that rocket launcher. Yes, we have. Now we turn around over to this gatling gun, and we can start blasting that before it tries to turn around and hit me. And that should be that all fully disabled. Now we can move all the way up to the top. I think we'll use the gatling guns for the next one. Going to circle all the way around. Should be another one on the opposite side. And ignoring the seizure-inducing shadows, all the way around. It might be a bit difficult to actually spot this in the dark, but it looks like we might have successfully disabled this ore handling facility, and we can now head on inside and get wrecked by the interior turrets that weigh us on the ceilings. But yes, as for that, that's pretty much it for the GR-30 fighter. It's a lovely little ship if you do want to play with one in your world, and as you saw, it was very useful when disabling this ore handling facility. And there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around for yourself, as well as the Skybox I'm currently using. I'll be back with another video sometime soon. Bye bye.